Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Homie Picks. It is me, Jared, Ben, Lou. We are back at it for another episode. The conference championships, AFC, NFC weekend. This is the see who is going to see Dr. Dre in concert live. February.
That looks like a good concert. I'm not gonna lie.
I ain't gonna front. It's gonna be a good ass halftime show. But
can we say that this is the first halftime show that got its own trailer?
It really is. Like, and this shit is like an epic rollout. Yeah, this got a rollout. Like it really has a whole trailer. Like they're going real hard.
Yeah, I saw the trailer, but I could have sworn maybe they did another one for somebody else.
I don't think anyone has ever had a trailer. Like
I don't think
a whole 3 minutes.
Like we just knew.
You're right. I think you're right. Yeah, because that was just 3 minutes.
Even at halftime, 30 seconds, and that's all.
Like we just knew who it was. There might be a commercial that may say featuring somebody, but this shit got rollouts. Like this shit, like the Up and Smoke Tour 2022. But we're gonna come back at you with another 2 games. That's all we got. It's the final two. The final two going in. So it's the NFL's version of the Final Four. But before we get into the conference championship game, let's just take a moment to say that was probably the greatest and wildest weekend of playoff football that we just saw.
Indeed.
I mean, outside of the Chiefs-Bills game, every game went to the final field goal. Like, I mean, field position mattered. You had horrible conditions in Green Bay. Everything just came down to the final possession. And then the wild finale. That was probably the best finale you can ask for.
Yeah.
Chiefs Bills, depending on what side of the field you.
What side of the coin you land on? Nope.
Yeah, it depends on what side of the coin you land on. I definitely had Buffalo winning that one. I thought going to Saturday, I thought Tennessee was gonna be. I had my Super Bowl prediction, Tennessee Niners, and I thought after Saturday, okay, maybe it might be Niners Bills, and then that happened. So it's things happen. It's moving parts. We're gonna talk about overtime rules later. But fellas, how did you enjoy that weekend?
It was good. I enjoyed it myself personally. I was much props to Joe Burrow because that man was getting murdered back there. 9 sacks, and they still pull out the win.
I thought it was 10.
Yo, they deserve that win. They deserve that win.
I thought, even with Joe Burrow getting sacked, I thought they still had a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a game where, I don't have enough faith in Tannehill to be like, yo, they murdering Joe Burrow on the other side. He's done. My mind was like, I don't know. As much as they're sacking him, Tennessee's offense isn't matching the same intensity. And that goes a long way. But weekend was amazing for football, man. Hands down to NFL, they finally got it right. Like
2 times in the same year. Week 18, and
whoever's behind the scheduling, and listen, it's working out to their favor. I know they're ranking in the Bucks right now. Betting is taking off. It was a great weekend for football, man. I'm sad that we only got 2 weeks left of football.
I know, man.
We're gonna have to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's to your point, Lou. I mean, as badly as Joe Burrow was about to be burrowed under the field in that game, Tennessee never ran away with that. They never really had momentum to push them, over the hump. Like Cincinnati's defense was doing their job, and now it could be either Cincinnati's defense or it could just be Tannehill, period.
Right.
But I would still give credit to their defense because they still didn't fold under Derrick Henry, a very fresh, brand new and improved Derrick Henry. So.
See, well, that's what I thought was their mistake. I think they leaned too much on Henry. He hadn't played him for so long.
Yeah.
I think they should have what was it? I think Devontae Foreman had a big run. I mean, and even Hiller had decent runs, but they kept going back with Henry, which I get it. He's your big guy, but he was missing way too many games just to expect him to be like blowing out the team. Right. So I thought that was a mistake, which then basically forced Tannehill to throw, and that's not what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tennessee went to the game thinking if Tannehill can manage the game and get us short yardage, Derrick Henry will finish it off. But Tannehill going to the game, your first play of the game, interception, your first play out of halftime, interception.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't put confidence in your offensive coordinator to let you go with the ball. Plus, we've talked about it the whole season of homie picks. The Bengals defense wasn't that good. Yep. They did mediocre work. But again, like I said last week, Tannehill, I don't have the faith in him to take that team to the next level. I mean, he's a good manager. At not one point of the season did you ever cross his mind that, okay, we'll bench Tannehill, bring somebody else in.
Right.
He's a good manager, but when you need the playoffs is a different beast. It's a different atmosphere. Yeah. We're seeing that the big guns show up. The Bradys, the Burrows, the Josh Allens, the Mahomes. All these guys with big cannons, big arms show up in the playoffs. So Tannehill just doesn't have that arm strength that I think could carry them deeper into the playoffs.
Yeah, and you absolutely are. And on the flip side, the person that I doubted was Stafford, and he stepped up. Stafford stepped up. He made the big plays when they needed it, and he did what he had to do to get that win. Yeah, I was surprised myself. I would have thought he might have melted out, but nah, he stuck it. He made the plays he needed to do, and they got the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really stunned with that one. Because Stafford, I could have swore Detroit Lions Stafford was gonna
he's gonna come back.
Right.
I thought he was gonna roar through, but I mean, look, he did what he had to do. I can't front on Stafford for another week. He proved me somewhat wrong for another week.
He proved me wrong. I can tell you that.
Even the finale in Green Bay, like that was a pretty damn good snowstorm. San Francisco is 4-0 against Green Bay, against Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
San Francisco is his daddy. They are his daddy.
Basically.
And honestly, like in him getting that monkey off his back, winning in San Francisco, because he didn't even do that before this season. I guess he thought he had some confidence going into that, but I mean, that was a gut effort by San Francisco, by Deebo Samuel especially.
I said
Deebo
that is the MVP of that team.
Deebo
is the MVP of that team.
And he's supposed to get paid this offseason. Man, give me the man whatever he wants. Cut the check, like wide receiver, pay him as a running back. Just give him a whole damn open up the checkbook for that man.
He carried the team.
Yeah. And then he got hurt.
I'm surprised that a team that has Kerry Kittles on it.
George Kittle.
Sorry. George Kittle's on it. He's playing second fiddle right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you had Raheem Mostert in there, like you wouldn't even see Deebo in that function.
Right.
Like he's damn near the every down back and receiver. Like
I think San Francisco, though, is the only team left in the playoffs that their quarterback is like maybe the 10th or 11th best player.
Yeah, Jimmy's not the best quarterback left. He's not the best quarterback left for sure. But you know what? He did what he had to do. He managed the game enough.
He's not the best quarterback left on his team.
Listen, he's not playing yet, so you can't say Trey yet.
I think.
I wasn't even talking about Trey. I'm talking about Deebo.
Yeah. Like the Niners, it's if they do pull this one off, which we'll talk about after. If they do pull it off, that is a group effort. That was not it's not a
going to be the effort of double D, Deebo and the defense.
Yeah.
That's what's going to carry them.
So you're gonna need some double D's in that. All right,
some double D's in that.
Gonna get to our first one of the weekend. Sunday, 3:00. You got Bengals at Chiefs. It's 7-point favorite for the Chiefs. What can I say about that? Like everybody's gonna be riding high with KC after that one. Their offense has definitely sparked up more over the last, I think, 5 or 6 weeks. So they kind of got hot at the right moment. But Ben, how you think it's gonna go down?
Yeah, this one's a tough one for me right now because yeah, you're right. You know, they come off this big high right now. You know, last minute comeback and they get the victory. I don't think they're gonna win by 7 points. I still feel like they're gonna win it, but I think it's gonna be closer than you think. And I don't think it's probably not gonna be that high of a scoring game, just because I think they're gonna be a little bit, you know, of a letdown. You know, the big emotion come down. So I think they're gonna have a slow start, but I think in the end the Chiefs are gonna pull through. I like what Cincinnati's doing, but I just don't feel like their defense is as good as it looked the last game. Their secondary, it can be picked apart, and I think Mahomes has been playing better, and especially when he gets out the pocket, he does make plays. Kelsey's still a beast, and you know Tyreek Hill. I mean, you can't catch the man. So, he has so many weapons. I think it's a little bit understated just how good his skill position players are in KC. I mean, because even the other receivers are fast receivers. They're elusive. They get yards after the catch. So yeah, I'm rolling with KC in this one. I don't think it'll be by 7 points, but I see them winning.
Look,
Yeah, I mean, can we just stop for a second and say how disrespectful Tyreek Hill is? That play with like a minute left when he was running down the sidelines and he had the linebacker 5 yards in front of him and he gave him the peace sign. Like, you running towards the dude to give him the peace sign. Like,
that should have been a penalty. That should have been a penalty.
And you know, I heard that's why it wasn't.
The reason he didn't get it because the linebacker was in front of him.
Yeah, that's why.
So
it was a technicality.
Like, the umpire's probably like, I'm gonna hold my pocket right now because he's about to tackle you, and he smokes right by him. Crazy play. But yeah, I'm gonna bet on this one. I'm. This is one of those games where after you watch last weekend, anything is possible. 7 points generous. I think it's gonna be much closer. I'm gonna roll with the Bengals on this. They got nothing to lose. You throw everything plus the kitchen sink at Kansas City, and you don't make the mistake that Buffalo did and give them the ball back at any time that's on the clock. like you guys score, I don't know. You take delay of game penalty. Let them push you forward. Kick the ball, do something with it, but don't give Pat Mahomes a chance. I think Buffalo didn't play. They played too much off the line. They did the opposite of what we saw on Saturday, where teams were blitzing and trying to get to the quarterback. They laid back too much and you can't give Pat Mahomes that much space, that much real estate to work with. But Joe Burrow got nothing to lose. I mean, for a second-year quarterback, throw everything at them and go for the W. So I'm taking the Bengals, probably by like a field goal.
So I think Cincinnati has the blueprint to know not to give an elite quarterback time at the end. Remember what they did against Green Bay. They, even though that was a terribly kick game between Crosby and their kicker, they damn near sacrificed Joe Burrow just to make sure Aaron Rodgers does not get the ball back towards the end. So I think they have the idea of what to do if they are in a situation to, if they are up against KC. I think KC's offense is just running red hot right now. But at the same time, I think Jamar Chase is just a fucking monster, man. Like, Jamar Chase is a monster. And for him to do this he's still a rookie, is he not?
Yeah, it's his rookie year. Yeah,
he's a rookie, and he's acting like he's like Jerry freaking Rice.
And you think about Kansas City's defensive back here. The secondary, they're both injured. Both starters are injured.
Yeah.
Barbecue chicken, bro.
Yeah.
Barbecue chicken.
Honestly, I think as much as KC definitely has a chance to win this gun, I mean, they're probably they are the favorites. You know, they may be the favorites even going to the Super Bowl. But I'm with Lou on this one. I think Cincinnati's going to take this one. I think it's going to be by a field goal. If I'm Cincinnati, I'm trying to put the pedal to the metal early and keep the pressure on KC. I genuinely think Cincinnati is going to be in this one though. I think they get the concert ticket in LA, but I think Cincinnati, is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, Joe Burrow, like I said, I said it's going into the playoffs. He's played in national championship games, so Joe knows what it takes. He knows what it feels with pressure and how to play with pressure. Jamar Chase was right there with him, so they know how this feels. I think it's just it's something else Lou said. You had nothing to lose. And I think that makes you a very dangerous team. You have nothing to lose. You're not even supposed to be here. You weren't even supposed to be the AFC North winners, let alone
in the conference.
So let this shit ride. Play like it's your last time out here. And I think that's what they're doing. Now for our finale, the NFC conference. I mean, this is funny. I think both of y'all had LA as the champion of the division, or did somebody have Arizona?
I didn't have Arizona.
I had the
Bucks. I had the Bucks.
No, because I know nobody has Seattle.
No,
I know nobody has Seattle.
I think I had the Rams. I had the Rams winning the division.
So you had the Rams, and that means Ben
I had Green Bay. I had Green Bay.
I mean in terms of the NFC West. In terms of NFC West.
I think I NFC West. No, I think I had the Rams. Yeah.
So, and I had the Niners as the NFC West champions. And we find out that we all just going to get right here into this moment, the rubber match, where both your division winners are going against who I thought were the favorites to win that division, and they play in the rubber match to go into the Super Bowl. This is Rams, Niners. Well, of course, it should be flipped the other way because it's Niners at Rams in SoFi Stadium, the host of the Super Bowl. Rams are a 3.5-point favorite. Last year we did have the Buccaneers host, as the host team, and for the Super Bowl. Do we get a repeat of this year? Do the Rams repeat as a host team? I'm actually going to go first on this one. Since Lou has been on fire the entire playoffs, I'm actually letting him go last. But I mean, if everybody been listening to Lou's bets, this man's been making y'all a lot of money. I'm just saying. But so I actually think we're gonna get a repeat of Super Bowl 23. And if anybody who wants to look into the history books in that one, that was Niners and Bengals. And I think we're going to get a repeat of that. I think Niners are going to.
What was that, 19 years ago? 29
That was a long ass time ago. 30
years ago?
I was only 4 years old when that happens. But yeah, it was. I think we're going to repeat of that one. I think San Fran's defense is what's going to keep them afloat in this one. If you're going to go quarterback matchup, I don't think Garoppolo is going to, be your star to do this. I know Debo's going to, I know he got hurt towards the end of that Green Bay game, but I know he's going to be good to go. Ayuk, Kittle. I really have faith that in a great climate, good weather, all this, all the good factors into your side. You got two damn good defenses, Bosa and company. Then you got Miller and Aaron Donald and company. Like, you have really good defenses going at it, and they're very familiar with each other. This is not going to be an easy matchup. I trust the Niners to do what Tampa did not do, which is actually jam Cooper Kupp at the freaking line. How does Cooper Kupp go untouched? Like, how does Cooper Kupp go untouched from the blitz side? Nobody said this. Nobody challenge that. Like that was just
the biggest question though I had is why are they blitzing from that side?
That's another good question too.
Like you blitz from that side and you give Matt Stafford a clean line of sight. Like you put a big ass bullseye on
They asked to lose. That's literally what happened. They asked to lose that game. I know Brady was looking at that defense coordinator like, what was you thinking? But yeah, I think we're going to get a repeat of that. I think Niners going to win this one. I think it's going to come down to another last second play, just like it did in the regular season, just like it did even in the playoffs. With both teams coming down to the final play. I don't think we're going to get the Detroit Lion Matt Stafford. Like I'm starting to say he's better than that now.
Man gone.
But however, that team knows him, and I think they're ready for that. And I think it's going to be a very tightly contested match. Probably by like 3, if anything, overtime, and then it may be a touchdown. But Ben, what you think is going to happen?
Yeah, so this one, look, Stafford played great. Give him props. He did what he had to do to win the game. He stepped up. That being said, I don't see him winning this game. I'm sorry, Kyle Shanahan is 6-0 versus McVay.
Yeah.
I don't see the trend ending here. Niners still have a good run game, even with Mitchell, and they can probably do it like they did their first win against them, just run the ball for like 40 minutes. 40 snaps, running for 44 snaps, I think they had in that game. Basically kill the clock. And, you don't have to worry about the receivers so much if they're not on the field. So Jimmy's a little bit healthier this week. He's off the list on his shoulder, so that's good. The throwing hand, it is what it is, but at least the shoulder's off. So I think he's going to be a little bit better than he was with against Green Bay. But that defense is really, really good. I think they're gonna jam up the receivers. They're not gonna let them run wild, for sure. And I just feel like they have a good enough run game that they can, protect Garoppolo enough because they're gonna be playing for the run. They can't just all out. It's a pass. I don't know. Shanahan just knows how to play McVay, and I think he's gonna win again. I see them winning this one at least by a field goal.
Yeah. Lou, the moneymaker. The moneymaker.
So, I thought about this game since Sunday night ended. If I'm the Rams, how most teams run a QB spy where they keep that one linebacker on a QB. Yeah, I'm running a Deebo Samuel spy. I'm taking Von Miller and I'm taking Jalen Ramsey. I'm like, your job is to follow that man wherever he go. Don't worry about Jimmy. You got big Aaron Donald back there to take care of Jimmy. But I'm running a Deebo Samuel spy the whole game because he lines up on pretty much everywhere on that ball. He lines up behind a tailback. You got Von Miller covering him there. If he goes wide out, you better have Jalen Ramsey covering him there. I think this game is going to come down to which quarterback makes the least mistakes. And I trust Stafford to make less mistakes than I do Jimmy G at this point. Especially, I think Matt Stafford has that monkey off his back, that, playoff ghost is out of that closet. He's it's long gone, it's over with. I want to pick the Niners. Firepower for firepower, besides Deebo and George Kittles, Jimmy G's not the guy I want back there. I really, he gives me that Tannehill kind of feeling. Yeah, he gives me that Tannehill kind of feeling back there. Like when the light shines bright, he's gonna be like, I don't know what to do. So I'm trusting Stafford to make the least amount of mistakes when it comes to this game. It's gonna be close. I think all three of us can agree it's probably be a close game. I see it last second tipping. Whoever has the ball with less than 2 minutes left to go in this game is gonna win the game. Yeah. That's the easiest way I can put it. So at that point, if Garoppolo makes a mistake, it's over for him. If Stafford shows a little glimpse at the last second of, Detroit Stafford, then it's over for him. But my gut is Stafford's going to make the least amount of mistakes going into this game in the last couple minutes. when it matters and take his team to the Super Bowl.
So you heard it here first. If Debo Samuels has to run to the bathroom, Von Miller and Jalen Ramsey will be right outside that door to make sure he's in there. So you all heard it here first. It's. I think it's probably. I think both games are going to be entertaining. I think more of a defensive battle in Rams Niners more than Bengals Chiefs. I think that's going to be a high scoring game. Both of those teams can put up points in bunches. Rams can do that too. You would think they could because they have Cam Akers. He's running pretty well. Odell Beckham, Cup. And then you got some heavy hitters on the Niners too. Ayuk, Kittle, Mitchell. So you can think that they can actually put up points too, but you just got really two defensively sound teams as well. So I think you have more of a defensive matchup in the late game, more of an offensive slugger in the first one. But going into how we even got here, overtime rules. There is a rule, or there is a thing saying there's a 90.9 win percent chance under the current rules that teams that have won the overtime coin toss in the playoffs have a 10-1 record. So only one team fucked that up. But mostly the team who gets the ball first is the team that's going on. Now I know in the college game, they do things differently. College game, you all you need is one foot down for a reception. But also in the college game, in their overtime rules, both teams get a chance to score. So even if you get a touchdown, the other team has an opportunity to score as well. If they can't do that, then it gets game over. I'm pretty sure nobody wants to see a 9-hour football game, because you can have really long games in college that way. I've seen many 6 overtime games, 7 overtime games. I think it makes better. I think it would be entertaining in the playoffs. I think even in terms of concessions and stuff like that, I think stadiums will love that. The more you keep people inside seats, the more you're going to have them spend money. But do you think there needs to be a change to the overtime rule? Do you think they should adopt more of a college style thing to give more of a fair advantage to an opposing team who doesn't get the coin toss? Lou, let's go with you first.
So my fix for this is, yes, it definitely has to change. I think if you're the home team, you don't get the ball first. Opposing team gets the ball first. They score, you get an opportunity to match it. You don't score, game over. Now, if you both score, then whoever makes the next score, whether it be field goal or touchdown, game over. Like that shouldn't be too much to ask. I think it is unfair. Like Buffalo, man, I felt bad for Josh Allen because he drove down there twice in the fourth quarter and walked off the field like, I got this W. And to lose the way he did, like it was tough to swallow. It was tough to watch. But yes, I think it puts whoever wins that coin toss at a really big advantage, especially if you're the defense. You're trying not to get any penalties called on you. You're trying not to get any pass interference, any kind of holding. Like, so you pay a little more lax. You don't play as tight as you would. You give receivers room because you don't want those calls to be the nail in the coffin. Which I understand why Buffalo played so back and let them chew them up in the middle, because you don't want those calls. You don't want to be that DB that costs your team a chance to go to the Super Bowl because you got a ticky-tack penalty call, pass interference call. But yeah, definitely, if both teams get a fair shot, my defense can play aggressive. To know that I got Josh Allen back there. If we fuck up and they score, he can definitely get us a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can definitely march down this field. So I'm going to play aggressive rather than a little lackadaisical and calm and collective and just hope I get a quick 3 and out. But yeah, let the home team get the ball second. Let the visiting team go first. they don't score, and if we go down there, hit a field goal, then game over. You guys had your chance, you guys didn't score. So that's my take on it, because any other sport, both teams get a shot at it. Even down to soccer. You got the overtime, and then you go down to penalty kicks. Now, if they want to get really creative, put it on the kicker.
Yeah, I like that.
After the first quarter, if no one scored, all right, your kicker got a shot. 55 yards. He makes it, game over. This kicker don't make it, game over. So there's a couple ways. I mean, I don't doubt the NFL is going to figure this out, because, man, there could have been a hell of more money to be made if Buffalo got that ball back. Could you imagine the amount of bets that would have been placed, and that as soon as Kansas City scored, Buffalo would have got a chance? People would have been racing to their phones to place bets. So, yeah, it's definitely a money grab. I mean, especially with the way sports betting is taking off and how quick you can place these bets. Something's going to change, probably not next year, but probably within the next 3 years.
Ben, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, for me, somebody on Twitter, I think it was an ex-player, they quoted a stat saying that even though, like you mentioned, the team that gets the ball first tends to win, it's only happened 21% of the time. So, it's not a high percentage. So that means, your defense can actually take care of it. And I understand why they don't want to keep extending the game. Players can get hurt, blah, blah, blah. They'll be too tired for the next game. So then the next game, they won't be physically up for it. So in that regards, I probably wouldn't want to change it. I would still want something like a little bit of a sudden death kind of feel. However, if we did have to make a change, I would probably just steal something from soccer, basically kind of like a shootout, force your kickers to do it. So what I'm thinking is you start your, each team is going to have a field goal try at the 30, right? If both make it, you pull them back 10 yards, and you keep on doing that progressively until whoever misses that one field goal, that's it. Whoever misses the field goal first, you're done. Then that way, a lot of people don't get hurt. You still have that urgency, and there's still pressure on, in this case, the kicker to make that kick. So I think that would be a fun solution. If we must make it, it'll be even, it'll be fair. Both teams are going to have a shot. It's either you make the kick to keep it going, or you blow the kick and, you lost the game. But since otherwise they can just keep it like it is, just because, like I said, it's 21%. Yeah, it sucked. It was a horrible loss. You hate to lose that way, but they had chances not to end up that way. They had a chance not to end up in overtime. I mean, it was 13 seconds. They could have, I know they wanted to pin them back and not give them, but I mean, 13 seconds, they just let the coverage, they were too loose in the coverage and let them get down to field goal range. I mean, they should have really been protecting that as well as the touchdown, but they were just letting them eat up the yards up front, and they had 3 timeouts, so they could stop the clock, get it out, timeout, get it out, timeout, and this is exactly what they did. And as a matter of fact, one was out of bounds with Tyreek, so there was ways for them to win it. So yes, there's more pressure on your defense, but you know what they got to play. But if anything, if they must make a change, I would do that. I'll force it on the kickers. It's very 50-50 once you start pulling them back. You know what I'm saying? Even if you start them, let's say, at the 35-yard line and go from there and just pull them back, I think it will be fun.
Yeah, I think those are 2 really good solutions. Even have a combination of both. Have lose idea, and if that doesn't pan out in an overtime possession, go to penalty kicks. Literally penalty kicks.
Literally.
So I think that would be 2 good solutions. I like the college idea too. Just to throw out on this post, other ideas that people have thrown out. You could decide the first possession of overtime before the end of regulation. So you assign the opening possession to overtime to the team that wins, the pregame coin toss, or it goes to the home team. You can play out another full 15-minute overtime. You can play to 8 points. Spot and choose. One team gets to choose the yard line for which overtime will begin. the other team gets to decide whether it will begin on offense or defense. But you have other ideas. Y'all threw out great ideas. I love both of those ideas. I also like the college rule. Like they start at like the 35-yard line, and you're basically trying to get into the end zone from there. If you get a field goal, the next team has a chance to win. Either for field goal or a touchdown. It's going to go. I think if you do that, maybe for like 3 possessions, or if it's still tied at 3, I think kicks is definitely the ultimate deciding factor after that. It's really going to show you. It's really going to put pressure on to see who has the best kicker. It would be unfortunate for. I think. Hell, for a team like mine, I would love it. Like, I think we got one of the best kickers in the game. So I
put him at the 80.
So
hey, now you know what? It's gonna make people change their mind about teams drafting a kicker. Right? You know how they make such a big deal about it? Like, oh my God, how can you take a kicker in the draft? Like, you know what? You need one now.
You're gonna see kickers go in the second round, man. Like I think you have, I think those are all great solutions, and there's many more ideas out there as well. Actually, if you're in the comments, like what ideas do y'all have that y'all want to see of overtime change? Like what do you think would be your solution to overtime? Because we've all been there. We've all seen our teams lose to overtime due to the rule and whatever. It sucks, especially sucks when that team has momentum on their side. Like, let's say it's like Baltimore and Oakland. Oh, sorry, Raiders in the week 1. Oakland. I keep saying Oakland. Damn it, Raiders. Vegas. I should remember Vegas. We should be thankful for Vegas and all their damn sports books. But Vegas had momentum, and they got the ball, in overtime, and they just started going upfield. So it's one of those things where we all want to see our teams win, especially in the playoffs. We really want to see our teams win, and it does suck, like it's most of the time it is a knee-jerk reaction. Like we saw something, we didn't like it, so we want to change it. But at the same time, I think it has shown over the years that there could be room for improvement on that.
Of course.
I definitely think, the overtime thing could definitely change, not just regular season, but playoffs as well. Also, speaking of change, there is a change of the guard in Pittsburgh. I am very happy to say that Ben Roethlisberger is no longer a quarterback in the league. He has finally officially retired via his social media post, which I find that hilarious that he does that over social media, because it's almost like he had an issue with Juju Smith-Schuster doing social media shit.
Right. And then fuck it, I'm retiring. Fuck it.
And then now he does stuff on social media.
So you really happy?
I'm ecstatic because I'm tired of seeing Roethlisberger always freaking do my damn Ravens wrong.
How you gonna feel? How you gonna feel if Aaron go there?
I don't see that happening. Honestly, I don't see.
How you feel about that?
Though? How would you feel though?
I would feel depressed, but I don't see Aaron going there to play with Mike.
He loved Mike Tomlinson.
I know he does.
I've heard he might end up in Denver.
Which I don't even see that, to be honest. Like I don't see him playing with. It would be nice to have. Let's just put it like this:
the sleeper.
It's an upgrade over Bridgewater. Yeah. However, you got a nice receiver in Jerry Jeudy. I guess
good defense.
Yeah, good defense, good running backs. They have a good team. They just don't have a quarterback.
My sleeper pick: Tennessee Titans.
I can see that.
I don't think he will go there. I don't think he will go there.
They got the defense. They got the running back. They got the coach he likes. Mike Vrabel is a player's coach, and they got 2 receivers
and a running back.
Sure. and a running back. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't see him going to Tennessee.
And I could definitely see Aaron and a Cowboy get up in Nashville, Tennessee, just drinking beer.
He does fit the bill.
Rocking the guitar, like it fits him.
He does fit
See,
the
well,
bill for me.
the reason why people think more Denver's because they're taking his offensive coordinator as the head coach.
Love.
So he has familiarity with that. Devontae Adams could go to over there. So they have the opportunity to make it happen. Will it
So you
happen?
think
I don't think it would though.
so you think Aaron is going to be uh Peyton Manning 2.0?
I think that's what he's trying to pull off. But I have to say this because over on the Colts side of things, people are going crazy on my fan side, thinking that we're gonna land Aaron Rodgers. But I personally do not want Aaron Rodgers on my team because he has been a great regular season QB, but playoff
Postseason?
times he's
But-
not the man at postseason, man. He becomes like a different player. He misses the open receivers. He just tries to force the ball to Devontae Adams all the time. I just do not see it working in the postseason. And ultimately, that's what you want. You want somebody that can get you over that postseason hump. But I don't see it. I mean, he's had good enough coaches. You had 13-3 seasons and you blow it. Like, come on. It really falls on him. Yes, special teams sucked, but you know what? At that point, it was still a tie game. Yeah. So it's not like the special teams like completely blew the game for you. You still didn't put up points. The minute Mercedes Lewis dropped a couple of catches and a fumble, he didn't want to throw to nobody. And it's like a mental block with him. I do not trust him in the playoffs. I just wouldn't trust him.
I think that's Aaron's just old grizzled. Like I think he's embodying Brett Favre's vibes when it comes to that.
Oh yeah.
Like
he's even doing. Am I gonna retire? I'm not gonna retire.
He learned under Brett Favre, and he's becoming a Brett Favre. So
yeah, basically.
A more efficient Brett Favre. Brett was a wild.
Yeah, Brett was more wild. Yeah, he was a wild guy. He was more reckless. He threw more interceptions. Granted.
However, if he is Brett Favre, he's going to the Jets. So good luck, New England. Good luck, Buffalo. But I mean, speaking of players that you don't want on your team, I've seen the social media posts. I pray to God it don't ever happen. Antonio Brown, please do not come to Baltimore.
Why not? You want to play with Ashton Jackson, bro?
We have one Brown. We don't need his cousin.
Yo, I think he needs to enjoy his mental wealth and be all right.
Yeah,
just stay out the league now.
I think he needs the help. I think he needs whatever help he needs. Like,
bro, look, I think if a team is willing to pay for your mental health, there's obviously something that they picked up on. And I'm not trying to bash the guy. I'm sure he probably doesn't see it, just like most people want to see their own issues and that self-awareness. But sometimes you got to reflect and say, maybe it is me that's causing the problems.
3 teams.
Yeah, I think he burned those bridges. You see the way he exited in Vegas, not Oakland, Jared, but in Vegas, how he exited Vegas.
I'll be forgetting.
He exited Vegas on a not so good note. But then to have the GOAT like put his name on you and like, hey, listen, bring him in. I will vouch for him
twice because he was up in New England. And he did them dirty there too.
So like I think love AB, love the way he plays. Like, dude, you struck out. Like that's it. Like you're a repeat offender at this point. I know no GM is gonna want to tie themselves to you. Because if I bring you in, if I bring you in and you shit the bed and you cost my team a chance to win a Super Bowl to get to the playoffs, ownership is gonna be like, you can leave with him. So, will he come back eventually? I don't think next season he plays. I think he gets a really weird, real awakening that, hey, this is not your league to come in and destroy stuff and then walk away. That's reserved for coaches like Sean Payton to destroy a team and then walk away when they're over the budget and stuff. But I don't see him coming back next year. I think he just bridges too much.
That was actually another farewell we had. Sean Payton leaving after 16 years. So New Orleans is going to be looking like a hurricane as well.
Yeah.
next year.
Number one pick, bro. They're gonna be contending with Jacksonville.
I feel bad for that organization because one, they're like 71 million over the cap.
Yeah.
They ain't got
But
no
look,
trade, they ain't got no assets. Like they got a bunch of young players that they're gonna eventually have to pay. You gave Michael Thomas $100 million and
For nothing.
he's
for
been
nothing
hurt.
because the last 2 seasons you done paid him 40 million and he hasn't caught a single ball. And then Sean Payton's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm out of here."
First, Drew.
I listened to his press conference and he literally said, "I don't know if it was when Drew retired or not." Man, you know it was when Drew retired.
Yep, because they didn't have no quarterback. He knew they had no quarterback. He
It's
knew.
like he was stuck in a marriage with like 6 kids and his side chick just walked away. So he's like, I think I can make this work with my wife. And then he realized how bad it was. So he's like, Jesus, take the wheel. I'm leaving these kids.
Yo, man, for real. And in this case, the wife mismanaged the money so bad
right.
that left him broke. And he's
Right.
like, yo, you know what? Peace out. I'm sorry.
You broke, dude.
I'm just gonna kill myself right quick. I'm
Yeah. So
almost gonna get a new identity. I'm just
I don't
gonna
like
get
the
a
way
whole
he-
new identity.
I really don't like the way he handled it to go on and then say, well, I'm gonna take some time and I'm not saying I'm stepping away from coaching forever. I may be back.
I'm just step away from this family.
right.
Yeah.
He said he may be back, but he didn't say he come back to New Orleans.
That man
No,
said,
I-
I see. Well, first Drew,
Any guesses where he lands?
Right. But and that's
Jacksonville.
the
Nah.
other side of the sword though. That
I think Byron Leftwich is taking that job.
yeah, Byron Leftwich got that one. But that's the other side of the sword. Like look what AB did to an organization, and now he's black sheep. Like let's say he's blacklisted away. Sean Payton did the exact same thing.
No, was he the GM?
Yeah, he was running he wasn't officially the GM, but he paid a backup quarterback twice in a physical year.
Yeah, but
And then you leave, like Jameson got a torn ACL. Nah. Taysom Hill, we don't know if he's running, catching, passing. Nah. Trevor Siemian, straight trash. So they got no quarterback.
they got all backups. That's the problem. They have backups for starters.
But Sean Payton gets the all right, coach. Thank you for your services, and he gets a right up to the sunset.
I don't know the whole dynamic between GM thing, but if he's not the GM and the GM allowed that to happen, that's on the GM. I'm sorry, that's
No,
not
but he has input.
every coach is gonna stand up for their players, particularly Payton, which is a player's coach, right?
Yeah, but
he's always gonna be like, hey, my man needs the money. My man needs the money. So I can't blame him for that.
He's like the Bill
GM.
Belichick type that has that cachet to tell the GM, we ain't gonna do this, right? We doing it this way, right? And ownership is like, well, listen to the coach.
But maybe that's not what happens there. I mean, every organization runs their ship a little different. Like look, for example, they gave all that power to Bill O'Brien with Texans. He was a good coach. He was not a bad coach, but he was a terrible GM.
He traded DeAndre
It's
Hopkins
that kind of
for
stuff.
fucking what was it, David?
Yeah, he gave up Hopkins for like peanuts and some Cracker Jacks and shit.
Peanuts and Cracker Jacks, and he didn't care if he ever came back.
And a broken running back. Yeah.
Any idea where Deshaun Watson goes? Do you think this case? Do you think these cases go away, or do you think he goes away?
I think around draft time we'll finally clear the air with that. Because Houston literally gave no fucks this year. They did not care. Like they knew where they were. Like they paid the coach for 1 year, and they're like, all right, you can go. Thank you. You got us to where we needed to get. The second pick in the draft, or the first. Did they get the first?
Second.
No.
I think
Jacksonville got first.
Oh, Jackson was first, then yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think now that a year's gone by and Deshaun Watson literally just sat on the exempt list, got paid, he's gonna go. My gut, I would have loved him to be a Giant, but that's not gonna happen. I say Chicago. The only reason I say Chicago is because if Brian Flores goes there, I think that they can pull off that trade.
But no, he's not going there. Matt Eberflus got the job already.
Yeah,
my ex-DC there, Colts defensive coach got the job.
As the GM? Oh, the coach? Oh,
as the coach. And the GM is something Poole.
Ryan Poole. I know Ryan Poole got that position. All right, so That was the only place I had him going. I don't see him going to Miami now. Now that Brian Flores isn't there.
No, that's not happening. That's
So,
not happening.
We might see another.
I don't see him playing unless his cases go away, to be quite honest. Because until that issues resolved, nobody's gonna want to trade for him 100% for the price that the Texans are gonna want.
But my thing is, players have done worse. Players have done worse.
Matt Ryan has done worse. Ben
Yeah, but this
Roethlisberger
is your
has done worse.
QB. This is your QB, like, and this one was just so publicized. I really don't see
But
it.
nothing's been
Nobody's touching
proven.
it.
That's my point. Michael Vick did what he did to dogs and still came back after he paid his debt. He hasn't even been proven.
But
like,
this,
there's no
but
charges.
Mike
all
went
civil.
through his thing. Yeah, but Mike went through it. His case got settled. This dude's case is not settled.
Right,
That's
but
the problem.
nothing's. It's not everything's civil. Like there's
Another
no
thing
charges against them.
See, but there's another thing you got to account for: the time period that we're in now. And the time period that we're in now is not the same time period when Roethlisberger and Matt Ryan got away with shit, and nobody gave a fuck about it.
Over 50 women now. Like, come on, like that's.
Yeah, I mean, look, I still think it's something. I have my feelings towards it, but like I think Houston definitely railroaded the situation a lot because they did not want him to leave, and I think a lot of things went after that. But regardless of how I feel about the situation, given the time period they're in right now, I don't think Deshaun gets that kind of pass or that kind of freedom to Ben's point. I don't think he gets that luxury to actually play or get any kind of autonomy until his name gets kind of cleared. Like, this is not the 2010, 2009, 20 whatever, when Roethlisberger and
early 2000s
Ryan were in parties doing some what we're gonna call a Bill Cosby shit. So
right.
So
that's the thing. I think is that, but it's tough because he's a good player, but I really don't see it happening until that gets resolved.
He's an exceptional talent. He's an exceptional talent, but he has to go through this shit, and that's just what it is. Like, like we have athlete and we got person, and honestly, the person is going to need more rehabilitation than the athlete at this point. But that's our conference championship games, AFC, NFC. This is our, we also like to have dialogue and conversation. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Definitely leave a comment in terms of what you think about, about the overtime stuff. Leave a comment if you want to think about, if you have thoughts and feelings about your team and moves that they want to make and so forth. We can discuss that too. I'm all for all talk and so forth. I know I have been promising basketball. Me and Lou will do basketball. We're still trying to work out a format to that one. It's not as easy as football, but we're gonna come with that stuff too, especially as we're getting towards All-Star break. Definitely, sports betting is the rave and the craze. So we're all hoping that you're making stuff that you're not losing your family over it. This is still
don't mortgage the house.
What we do is still for entertainment purposes, but please do not bet your house away. We will not take you in. We're not hosting you. We're hosting the show.
You're on your own.
So like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell everybody, tell a homie, tell a friend. We'll come back at you next week or the week after for Super Bowl. Definitely probably next week. We're gonna do a little preview thing, but if not, we'll definitely come at you for Super Bowl. We love you. Watch and
peace.